So this is a new setup. It feels so weird. I officially have my books on my shelves. I still have to like decorate and stuff. It's most of the books. I grabbed a lot of books for this video because this is a book haul, but any of the OGs know that this is a new background. I finally got my bookshelves installed, but let's get into this video, child. Still trying to figure out the background. Background's weird. Oh, she put her books on the shelf. It's a little gappy, but that is why we're here today. We have a book haul. Okay, I grabbed some books off the shelf, but let me start this video. Hello, Booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole, and I'm back with another video. This is an impromptu video because I had a reading vlog planned for you guys, but then I realized it was going to be a spoiler filled reading vlog, so I didn't know if everybody was going to be able to watch it. And I also have not finished reading the book, and it's like 800 pages, so I'm just fighting for my life. I'm having a really hard time concentrating for long periods of time, so it's just, yeah, I just figured I would give you guys a book haul so I don't miss no weeks, because you know I like to stay on schedule, child, okay? And book hauls are easy as hell to edit. So let's get to the video. As you guys know, or if you don't know, if you're new here, welcome to the island. Just go ahead and subscribe, because if you subscribe to my channel, you have taste. I'm gonna bring you content every week, every Saturday or Sunday, always at 3 p.m. always at 3 p.m. And on the island, when I do book hauls, I will be including Kindle books, audiobooks, and physical books, because if I'm paying for a membership, best believe you are going to hear about these books in a book haul. Yeah, if I'm paying $10 a month, you're gonna hear about these books. Okay, so let's talk about what we got planned on a sticky note. For audiobooks, we have 3 audiobooks. Kindle, we have 3 Kindle books. And then physical, oh, just had a couple more to add. Okay, and then physical, we have all of these books, which I'm super excited to talk about. Let's kick it off. Sure, I cannot see. Alright, so let's kick it off with the audiobook. So the first audiobook that I have is Lost in a Moment and Found by Shannon McGuire. And I've been back in my Shannon McGuire bag. I just recently read the last book, I think, that came out last year, Where the Drowned Girls Go. And the Wayward Children series is just going to be one of those OG series that just will surpass time. Like, they're short, but they have so much in them. If you don't know what the Wayward Children series are and you're sleeping under a rock, it basically is a series that follows these children that find doors that go to worlds that basically cater to them. So think like Alice in Wonderland or Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe type vibe. They go into these worlds, but they're a direct reflection of what they need at the time. So all of the worlds are connected to them in a specific way. So this one follows a girl that goes to a world where all of the lost items go. So anytime I think about this, I always think about like Halloween Town, troll whose house they went to.
Things that get lost end up here.
Everything that's lost other places ends up here. But things that are lost here go poof.
And like all of the lost items will go to his house. Like anytime I lose something, I always think of Halloween Town and that one moment when they went to that troll's house and everything that was lost went to his house. So she's going to a world that's similar like that, and Shannon McGuire just don't miss. Like, I'm sorry, with the Wayward Children series, she simply does not miss. My favorite books in the series are always the ones that follow Jack and Jill, because it's just so dark, it's so sinister, it's so complex, and I just love a good dark gritty world. So I really enjoyed their books. I think there was like maybe 3 books that included them, and they're like my favorite characters. So loved it. I'm excited to see this world as well, and she said that she's going to continue the series until she just runs out of ideas, I guess. And it seems like she has a lot of novellas in between as well, so I'm excited to read those too. The next one that I have on my audiobook list is Two Wrongs Make a Right, and this one follows the main character. Her name is Beatrice, and she is on the spectrum, and she has a really difficult time in like social settings, and she's very like basically like an awkward Nancy. Like, she really doesn't fit in well with other people. Sometimes people see her as a little bit too much, too obnoxious, too over the top. She has tattoos, she's an erotic artist, and she just really is a character, honestly. And she meets her opposite, and his name is Jamie, and he is very structured. He's a pediatrician. He is very well-rounded, logical, by the book, so everything that she is not. And their friends end up setting them up, and they find out that their friends set them up. So to retaliate, they say, okay, let's pretend that we're dating to make them think that we're dating, and we gonna pull the okey doke on them. But the okey doke is that they actually fall in love, which is unexpected because they are nothing alike. That's what this audiobook follows, and I've actually already read this. I finished it this morning, and it was really riding on, like, I was teetering on like a 3.75, 4-star, but like that ending, certain things that happened in the ending just made me push it to like a 3.5. Like, it really was like towing the line to a 4, but that third act breakup really just, I don't know what that was. But this is not a wrap up, so I'm just gonna say I gave it a 3.5. I enjoyed it. I really liked Jamie's character. Him being a pediatrician was absolutely adorable. I have not read a book with a romance lead that was a pediatrician. I thought that was adorable, and I really liked his character. So enjoyed that book, and I do recommend it. It is a TikTok baby, so I was surprised to see that I actually liked it, because TikTok be TikToking. The next book that I have on the audiobook list is Sword Heart, and this is a book that I keep hearing Riley Marie talk about. She's one of my favorite booktubers, and it basically follows this main character who is, I think something happens with her family, and she ends up being either betrothed to someone else or stuck with a specific side of her family that she don't want to be in. Either way, she's in a situation she don't want to be in. So she ends up going up to her room, and she's like, listen, it's time to unalive. Like, it's a wrap. Let's wrap it up. I'm not staying here for this. I'm not staying up for it. So she looks around the room to try to find something to, you know, commit the act, and she sees the sword. So she unsheaths the sword, and she goes to do this, and the sword is actually enchanted. So think like Aladdin and the genie and the lamp, a situation like that, you know. And out comes the spirit, and he basically is now there to protect her. I think they end up falling in love, end up going on a quest, so it's like a little travel romance, a little, you know, I love it. You know, I love a little lighthearted, fun, fluffy, cute fantasy romance. And Aladdin is my favorite movie. I've watched that movie like 600 times. So I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to read it, and it seems like she really enjoyed it, and I've seen a few other people pick it up. So I want something lighthearted, something fun. Hopefully the audiobook does it justice. All right, now let's roll on over to the Kindle books. So we have 3 on the Kindle books, and the first one is a book that I have recently read in a vlog. I got like 38% into it in a vlog. I will put it up here so you guys can check it out if you would like to. And it's Guild. I want to say it's a booktube baby and a booktop baby, because I've seen it on both, and it's a part of the Plated Prisoner series, and it basically follows a retelling of like the guy that has the Midas touch. So he's the king that everything he touches turns into gold. He ends up rescuing this girl when she's young, and when he rescues her, he turns her into gold, and he kind of keeps her as like this trophy. And you know, she's all gold. She stays in this cage, and she just like watches him and just sees everything he does. And she is very much, what's it called when you're like stuck with somebody? Something syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. So she has like Stockholm syndrome because she just still admires this man. And I just was so bored with this damn book, but I only got 38% into it in my vlog, and of course as soon as I finished the vlog is when things started to pick up, because I recently picked it back up because I'm like, okay, I need to finish it this month. I can't carry it on to next month. And it started getting good. I'm like, okay, you know, some things are changing, but it should not take almost 40% of the book for the book to pick up. I'm so sorry. Like, I understand a slow start or whatever, but 40%, I'm almost halfway into the book, and that's when it starts picking up. That's why I was so bored, because I'm like, what are we doing? But a couple of you guys DM'd me and told me like she's gonna change, her character's gonna develop more, and it's supposed to feel like Stockholm syndrome-y, like she's supposed to be seen as someone who admires him over the top or whatever, because that's who she is mentally. But as the books go on, it gets better. And right now I'm like 51% in, and she's traveling to a new city. I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, it's gotten better, but it should not have taken that long. I simply was bored. But now I'm at 51%. Things have picked up. I'm enjoying her character. I'm interested to see where it goes, and maybe I'll pick up the second book, child. I don't know. Okay, the next one that I have is Mafia Princess. Mafia Mistress. And this book I feel like I've heard other people talk about it, but the reason that I added it to my TBR was because Aaron from Booked and Busy talked about this book, and we have similar taste in romance. I want to say most of the romance books that she loves, I also love. Fantasy as well, so I go to her for like fantasy books and romance books, though it was only one book that I can think of that she loved that I did not like. Mafia Mistress, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about, but I know it has like a humiliation kink in it and like a praise kink in it as well, so I'm trying to see what that's about. I'm trying to see what's going on there. Like, I don't want to read the synopsis. They be putting too much into these damn synopsis, but the title and the things that Erin mentioned in her video that I watched made me add it to my TBR. So we gonna see how it goes in my Kindle, child. We gonna see. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all like I know what this damn book is about. I don't know what it's about, but I want to go into it blind, so let's keep it at that. Last book that I have is In Mercy Reign. I think it's book 7.5 in the Wayward Children series, so it's like a novella in between like 7 and 8, but I'm not sure what it's about, so let me just go ahead. Yeah, 7.5, so let me just see what it's about. Eee! This one follows Jack and Jill. Oh, okay, I'm excited to read this. Okay, so I have this one on my Kindle. This one follows, like I said earlier, one of my favorite characters, Jack, and she's back in her world after all of the debacles that happened in the past like 7 books. There's so much that happened between the twins in the past like 7 books, and so many worlds they visited and so many things that just went down. So I'm excited to read her novella. She's my favorite character in the entire series. Like, I know Kate is a lot of people's favorite character, but Jack is my favorite, and I'm excited to see what she got going on. Like, absolutely excited. So it's following her and her world, and her world is Moors, I think, and it's really dark, it's really grimy, and like she was basically under an apprenticeship of the scientist, so she kind of was like working in like a morgue and bringing things back to life, very Frankenstein-esque. So she's back in her world, so I'm excited, and it's a novella, so I know it's gonna be short, but it's gonna just pack a punch. I love this series so much. So now we're gonna get into the physical books. So I'm gonna start from the bottom. Okay, we're gonna hold it. I move my hands too much to have this stack in my lap, so let me just go ahead and stop playing. Please. So the first book that I have is The Sleeper and the Spindle, which I read in a recent vlog where I read like the Disney princesses. I will link it up above if you want to check it out. But this book is just simply too beautiful for me not to include. Like, the illustrations in this are so beautiful. It's basically like a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and from my understanding, the way that I grasped it, one of the main characters is Snow White, but they just don't give her that name. So she's basically traveling to this distant land where the entire town, the entire city is sleeping, and it's very spooky-esque, and it's just different. It didn't have like the fluffy feels of like Sleeping Beauty and like romantic, and it didn't feel like that. It felt sinister, it felt creepy, it was like cursed. There was a lot going on in this book, and honestly I think I would have given it a 4-star if it was a little bit longer. Obviously I've already read it, but it's just such a beautiful book, so I highly recommend picking this one up. It's a graphic novel, so it's a quick read, and I also paired it up with listening to it on audiobook, which was really fun because it was a full cast. They had music, they had sound effects, so if you grab this, make sure you grab the audiobook as well because it really just adds to the story. Next one I'm gonna talk about is one I've already read as well, which is Icebreaker. Icebreaker. I love this book so much. Like, book talk is 2 for 2 right now because I read Two Wrongs Make a Right, and I read this one, and both of them I enjoyed. This one is a favorite now. I simply absolutely love it. Like, I was nervous. I didn't listen to anybody talk about this book, because in the beginning everybody was raving about this book, and then later on, once more people read it, they started saying they hated it. I didn't want to hear shit about this book. I saw this cover, I fell in love, and I was like, I want to go into it blind, and that's exactly what I did. So this basically follows the main character. Her name is Anastasia, and she's an ice skater in college. So Nathan is a hockey player, and someone basically trashes their skating rink, so they can no longer practice there, so they end up having to share a skating rink. And it's difficult for her because she's partnered with someone, so they need the space to be able to practice, and she doesn't have a team. Like, it's literally just the two of them, and they need the time, they need the practice, whatever, and now she has to share it with hockey players, which sucks. And she's already met him before at a party. They butted heads because she's like, she's seen as this girl that has like an attitude. She's kind of like an ice princess. He just like gives such golden retriever vibes, and he just like always goes after the girls that are like a little bit stuck up, but her icy exterior melts a little bit, and they end up having a little romance. And just a great book, really great book. It dives a lot into mental health, it dives a lot into friendships, it dives a lot into just, it was just good. Like, and the smut was great. Like, I get so sick of romance books just doing the same as, what is that position called? Missionary. That missionary position. Please, like, my girl was busting splits. The Uber scene was popping off. Like, they made it happen. They made it happen. So I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. I didn't like the epilogue, but I liked everything else about the book for the most part. And I also wrote a review on this if you want to see my in-depth thoughts. But glad that I got this physically. I don't know what any of these other books are about. Oh, God. Okay. Next one that we have is Half a Soul. Half a Soul. And I've seen everybody on BookTube talk about this. So this is like a BookTube darling. Everybody seems to really love it. So I think it's been compared to like Howl's Moving Castle meets Bridgerton. So it's very like a royal-esque setting. But it has like fantasy aspects like fairies and just fantasy aspects. Like, I don't want to know much else. Like, I've heard one person talk about this book. I really liked her take on it, and then I forgot everything she said about it after I added it to my TBR. So I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it that way. I would like to go into it blind, but I think what I've said is enough for you to know what this is about. And I'm sure you've seen this book all over BookTube channel. This one that I have is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I think this is like a bookstagram and a book talk baby. Like, I have seen so many people talk about this damn book. I have seen it everywhere, and I'm excited to read it. So this basically is like billionaires. So it basically follows the lineage of, I want to say, like, it's how do I explain this? So basically it's following this family whose grandfather or something dies, and he leaves them like a legacy, but I guess they have to follow the specific task that he told them to in order to get their inheritance. So like, he basically was like a billionaire. He owned like a Disneyland-esque amusement park, and each of the books follow brothers that fall in love with different girls. That's what I know, and they're all billionaires. And I don't think I've ever read a billionaire romance. I've read books that have rich guys in it, but I don't think I've read a billionaire romance, so I'm excited to read it. Very well loved series. I hear a lot more about the second book in the series, so gotta start somewhere. I'm gonna start with this one. We'll see how it goes. Let me know if you guys want me to vlog this one, because I probably will. I probably will vlog this. Child, I don't even know what this book is about. What is this? The next book that I have is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. Don't I have another book by her? I've seen her name before. Whatever, child. So, King of Wrath. This is a bookstagram baby, okay? Ooh, this is bright, child. I feel like it's too bright. Hopefully that's better. It was a little bit too bright. I was getting a little bit blind. When winter comes, my melanin disappears, so that super bright light, it's not gonna work. I skimmed through the synopsis. Basically, this is a romance that follows a billionaire that ends up getting unexpectedly married. So I guess a marriage of convenience, maybe. And that's all I need to know. I don't know nothing else. I've seen this book all over Instagram. I don't know what it's about. I don't like reading synopsis. I'm so sorry, because it just be giving too much away. Like, you will know the entire plot from start to finish if you read the synopsis. But all I know is that it's a marriage of convenience. It's following a billionaire. He's being blackmailed. And I've seen a lot of quotes on this one. So, trying to see what this one's about. You can't really even see it. There we go. That's better. Okay, the next one that I have is Blood Mercy? Blood Mercy. Why am I having a hard time saying Mercy? I keep wanting to say Mercury. I got this one also because Aaron was talking about it. And 2023 is my thick book era. I don't know why I decided that, because my attention span is struggling and fighting for life right now. But it basically is following like it's like a vampire romance, and she kept saying that this was the first series that she read that was very unique in like the storytelling of the vampire. So I'm excited to read it, because vampire stories are very hit or miss for me. The only vampire romance that I've really enjoyed so far was Dowry of Blood. That was like the only one so far, but I'm excited to see what it's about. I didn't read the synopsis, not gonna read the synopsis. All I know is that it's gorgeous, it's thick, and Aaron recommended it. That's all I need to know. I don't want to know nothing else. Okay? Yeah. All right, next book, The Book of Azrael. Okay, this is clearly a indie published book. You know them bright white indie books? That's how you know it's an indie book, when it's like a shiny ass cover and the pages are super white. It's like bright white. So I got this book because I heard Rachel from the Raven-Haired Reader talk about this book, and I really enjoy her videos. She's a newer booktuber. Her videos remind me of like old school booktube, like when people would just read and vlog. Like, it wasn't as much lifestyle. I feel like now booktube is more like lifestyle and books, but her videos remind me of just like weekend reading vlogs and just like going crazy about books. Like, she just has that old school booktube vibe, and I really enjoy her videos, so I highly recommend her channel. Heard her talk about this book. Don't remember what it's about. I'm gonna read it back to y'all. How about that? How about we find out together? Okay, so it says, for thousands of years after the gods' war, the ether world has known peace, but soon that too will change. An old enemy, driven by revenge, slowly builds an army behind the scenes. Temples are being ransacked in search of an item long lost, and enemies since the dawn of time must put aside their differences if they have any hope for survival. I've watched so many of her videos. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was the book where she was saying that both of the characters in this book are morally gray, and I love like a villain morally gray book. And if they're gonna romantically fall for each other, I'm really intrigued to see what that's about. I want more morally gray characters. My favorite books and my favorite romance books always have morally gray characters, villain characters, like stubborn girls, stuck up girls, ice queens, whatever. All these people that are looked at as someone that's like rude or whatever, but when you get to know them, you get to see that, you know, they're not so terrible, or they have a reason behind what they're doing. Pretty sure this is a fantasy romance. This is what I need. This is the type of synopsis I need. Vague and don't give nothing away. Like, very vague. I don't know the characters' names. I don't know shit. That's what I want. Traditionally published needs to keep up, because I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're giving us the whole damn book in like 4 paragraphs. Do I need to talk about what this book is? Y'all know what this book is about. Jade City. Okay, I'm supposed to be buddy reading this for Rebecca. I'm supposed to be reading this with Rebecca. Child, neither one of us has started this book. We both were in the middle of reading like 800-page books. She has since finished hers. I have since not. I'm not even halfway through my 800-page book. So our buddy read is postponed, but Jade City, we're coming for you very soon. Okay. Everybody knows what this book is about. I'm not going to explain it because I don't even really know. So, let's move on. Okay, next one. Ruin Song. This is a book that I got when I was in, where was I? When I was in Puerto Rico. So I'll put this vlog up here, Hot Girl Reading Vlog, where I went book shopping. And I don't even know what this book is about, but I just love the cover. Any books or TV shows that have like characters with white hair, I'm gonna eat it up. It's a guarantee. I'm gonna eat the book alive. Like we're meant to be together. Yeah. It's a guarantee. And it's purple. That's my favorite color. So let me see what this, we're gonna read the back. I'm sorry. If you don't want me to read the back, too bad. Okay, it says, in a world where magic is sung, a powerful mage named Candace has been brought forward to torture her country's disgraced nobility at her ruthless queen's bidding. But when she is reunited with her childhood friend, a noblewoman with ties to the underground rebellion, she must finally make a choice. Take a stand to free her country from oppression, or follow in the queen's footsteps and become a monster herself. This is reminding me of another book. I'm not gonna dive into it, but so basically she's like the queen's assassin, and she has to make a choice on whether she's gonna stay the queen's assassin and do what the queen wants, or is she gonna side with her friend. The last book that we have is Radiance. And my boyfriend got me this for Christmas? Yeah, my boyfriend got me this for Christmas. And this basically follows... I've seen, again, Riley Marie talk about this book. And it's one of her favorite books. I've also seen Nina talk about this book as well. And it basically follows these two different species who both find each other unattractive. They're both like, you are very ugly. Who wants you? Like, who wants you? You are not cute. They both are like disgusted by each other's presence. Like, you're not cute. But they end up falling for each other, and it goes from there. That's all I need to know. Like, because all these books always have like this fine ass girl, this fine ass guy. But when you got two people that don't think the other person is attractive, and you just like, and they're two different species, so it's like a fantasy romance. I'm excited to read it. Pretty sure this is indie published as well, because the pages are bright white. So excited to see what that one's about. And that's all she wrote. So that is actually 16 books. I'm gonna put 15 in the title because I don't want to put 16. That number makes my skin crawl. So we're gonna leave it at 15. 15, but when you click on the video it's 16, so it's a surprise. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Let me know if you're interested in reading any of these books. I know a lot of my synopses were pretty vague, but this was an impromptu video, and I have started to no longer read synopsis because they give too much away. So I hope overall you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you've read or enjoyed any of these books, which ones I should prioritize. I'm kind of gearing up for February because that's when I do more videos, because it's Black History Month, because you know how it is. Like, I gotta represent my folks, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye.